Hi, this is Alexandria Alfonso. This is my blog for Module 5. I really enjoyed reflecting on and learning more about my personal delegation, communication, and motivational skills throughout the readings and exercises and videos in this module. When it comes to communication skills, I feel like I am a fairly good active listener, or that's at least what I felt like before I started really delving into the information in the module. But one point that was made was that active listening, you really have to pay attention to what somebody is telling you and then not form your response or be thinking about what you're going to say until somebody is completely done with what they're saying. And that's something that I need to work on. Sometimes I can be very task oriented and trying to get things done, and to stop. If you're going to have a conversation with somebody, you need to really hear what they're saying and pay attention to them. So I continue to I want to continue to try and work on that and grow in that respect when it comes to my communication skills. Also, something that was mentioned throughout the module is being cognizant of who your audience is. In healthcare, there are physicians to support staff with different educational backgrounds and people from different cultures and just different life experiences, and everybody can take a message through their own personal way. So you have to really know who you're talking to and ensure that they receive the message that you're trying to give. I found in the text the communicating with difficult people section. I found that very informative, and I plan to use some of those tips as I go on in my career. Not engaging with people in an argument and remembering that there's an issue that needs to be addressed. I don't really engage in arguments. I've been in those situations where people are being hostile towards me, but you also still have to address the issue. So I need to continue to work on that. If somebody is being hostile towards me, then I feel like I'm really good at not engaging in the argument, but I also have to solve the problem and not let that get away and focus on that. When it comes to delegation, the text was referring to that increasing people's self-esteem, and I feel like a really important piece of delegation is setting expectations. I know I've been in this situation before where I've had negative experiences because I've delegated something to somebody, and I've had the fallacy that I can do it better myself, so I'll just go ahead and do it. But as a leader, you have to think of the bigger picture and what's better for everybody. If the job can get done adequately, then it can be delegated, even though it may not be exactly how you would do it. Motivation. I was recently at a leadership retreat, and it was mentioned several times, as it was mentioned in the text and in the videos, that you have to praise people and tell them they're doing a good job. And that's kind of foreign to me. It's always nice to feel appreciated, but to do your job and just be told you're doing a good job, I feel like personally, if you're going the extra mile or you did something extraordinary, then you should be recognized or rewarded for that. But through this retreat that I went through at work and reading the text, sometimes you just have to tell people you appreciate them, even if they're just doing maybe something that you don't think is extraordinary, but they are doing their job and they're doing it adequately. I thought the X-type individuals and the Y-type individuals were really interesting. And I think it's good to know what kind of people that you're dealing with, and then you can better motivate them based on if they're an X or a Y individual. And I understand now that you don't always have to stay in an X-type state of mind or a Y-type state of mind. Those things are interchangeable and can grow and be different. But I think a hard thing about leadership is understanding what motivates people And as the text stated, understanding what motivates each other can kind of bridge that gap between people. When it came to the task and leadership questionnaire, I scored high to moderate range for both of those. So according to the questionnaire, I'm pretty equal in task and relationship orientation, which I think is pretty good when it comes to leadership skills. The emotional intelligence videos were really interesting to me too. How our IQ pretty much doesn't change, but our emotional intelligence can change and grow over time. I think that my manager right now is very empathetic, and she's very well liked because of her empathy and her need and want to understand people and what they're going through. Another thing about emotional intelligence and self-awareness and self-regulation, it's one thing to know and be self-aware, but then if you regulate yourself, I think that is a skill that I can work on and need to continue to grow upon. Well, that's all I have for this one. Thanks.